G'day. Today I'm going to go back to something that I haven't done for a while. So with all of my scores, you can see generally high threes, a couple of fours, and then a couple that are just sort of out of the park. But this one here probably sits as my notably lowest. I'm only in the top 5%, whereas a lot of the other ones, I think everyone else I'm 3% or higher. So let's go. Let's get rid of all the novelties of everything else. Can I just do better in Mexico City? And what we might do is we'll just do this one in night mode, because the variety of colors I do in my different videos, I think night mode's probably the rarest. So I'll just give this one that nice little change. So we're hoping for 4,000, my goal. And we'll see if I've learned anything from being hit with challenges for the last few months. Now, some of the levels, I know that, say, with Rio de Janeiro, my score doesn't sit at the highest, but similar to my score in Manila, Manila is so high because it was actually a too easy a level, I think, and they redid it, which means that anyone who attempts it now is going to be a lot harder to get somewhere up over 9,000 than when I did it. And Rio was similar, but I never went back and tried to really smash that one out before they changed it. So, Rio is probably the one level where I'd sit lower on the percentages, but I'm understand why, and I'm I'm okay with it. Okay, let's shift these two guys up and around. We could have just sort of connected the two to this one system, but I will attempt to keep everyone separated out. We can definitely take a tunnel here, but we won't use it on there. We won't waste it if we don't have to. It would only make that route up here just slightly shorter, so probably not worthwhile. Okay, it does leave this guy now out in the cold. I suppose what we can do is just flip these two guys around that way. Is there room for these two to come through? No, you'd have to go through the mountain. So, let's run... Okay, let's now sort of adjust just to make life a little bit nicer for these two guys. So we'll turn them that way, run them in there. Then what we'll do is we'll put a roundabout there. Put this guy down that way for now. Now, I'm not a big fan of this intersection here, this stage either. Another roundabout we can put in to sort of give them option, or even a traffic light would probably be fine. These two guys are going to run in backup, it looks like, though, so these three houses are considered closer. So it's only going to be if everyone is out from these three that these guys will kick in. So a set of lights would be good, because it would probably just leave greens facing this way. I just feel like we're going to start needing to rely on tunnels relatively soon, so if we get any options for tunnels, we certainly want to take them. I think if we want to put that in, we may as well. Okay, let's pause for a moment. Him in there. Actually, we'll get him to swing that way, and we'll get these guys to there. And then we'll get these guys to sort of swing up that way. Although, no, I don't think any pink houses are going to end up in this section here, so we're probably fine leaving that gap. If we get pink houses in there, great, they'll help him out, and we can shift this guys back around. Okay, so to get this guy to here, what we'll probably have to do is just run all the way through the mountain. Cool. There is enough room in here, too, that we could separate these out. We could move these guys to just say light hook around here, and then have a broader sweep for these guys to come and focus solely on him. That's where it's going to be tricky, because anything outside here we can't really do too much with yet. The good news is that we can put, we could connect all of these guys a single direction, so the 5 of these could go this way, and then we could just put a motorway in to get these guys to hop over to look after him. We can also use our tunnel to get these 2 guys to sweep over to look after him, and then everyone else here can just sort of focus on that guy, but we won't do that yet, because these 2 are certainly well managed by the 6 that they're currently looking after them. Okay, let's pause that for a second. Let's flip these 2 guys the other way. This guy to go there. I haven't said it for a while, and so if you want to say my first videos that you're watching, the way that I'm doing these designs is generally if a house is connecting directly onto the road, it's considered a driveway. It's not considered an intersection. So you can see that with all of my connections, basically what I'm trying to do is one of the 2 houses is actually just a driveway onto that main road, as opposed to creating another intersection. Okay, so we've now got the luxury of that that motorway there, but we will keep an eye on where we need it. Whether this guy's going to start to struggle or this guy. Nice if we could get a population of houses up this way that's related to either these guys or this guy, or even this guy. There's a few different options that we've got up there. So nothing we can really do with a spot like that. Just sort of swing him all the way around, I suppose. Can't even like turn these guys around to hit a single marker. Actually, we'll point him up so we don't get another house there. Traffic lights. Alright, well this guy's sort of stranded in no man's land. So we won't do anything with him for now. This guy's sort of out in his own to make that at least a nice clean connection. But everyone's sort of got a little bit of distance that they're traveling. Alright, so that's a possible candidate for our first motorway. So I can't see any other way. Well, I can see one other way. The other way would be that we run him down and then through the mountain. Or even he could just extend off this route. The reason we wouldn't want to extend him off this route is that we want everyone to be sort of focusing on their individual house if they can. We don't want all the super close guys for him to be making this really long journey, I think. Well, at least for now, let's give him that. Alright, we're getting a few houses over here at least, so for this one I would say what we're going to do is just extend off. Not great, but as good as we're going to get for the moment. We could separate this out into two. Oh, that's nice. Two different neighborhoods. I don't want to hug that orange one too much, just in case we get more orange houses showing up. The danger here is we don't want this guy traveling down to try and address jobs here. But I think these guys are closer than he is, so it's unlikely they would. I did face these two guys up just so I wouldn't get pink houses in that section. But I now also don't want them to be blocked off from being able to come around this way. Now with him, you can see that there are still cars sitting at home, so even though he's only operating with 3 guys, he is still covered for what he needs. This is an awkward little location of a... that we've got no one over there at all that's going to need it. Okay. So let's get rid of that. And instead what we'll do is we'll make an even longer route that has them flipping around the top. So at least that guy can sort of do some of the short leg work. This guy will flip back that way. Make them, and we'll give this one guy to that one for now. Okay, so let's turn him that way. And if another one comes up, we'll just shift him to this one as well. But he certainly needs less than that guy does. No need to use this guy over here at the moment at all. I mean, that makes it a much more compelling argument, but hopefully we can just get more guys in this vicinity. One more house anywhere here, we're disconnecting this. There we go. Now he's going to cause us to make an intersection somewhere. We'll take the motorway. But let's knock out all of that. We'll just roll him in there. We'll put that there. Well, they're going to have to give us a few more yellow houses for this. This guy's certainly overstocked. So, we've got 41. What can we do here? Would be nice to get move that up a little bit. What do we finally get to? Oh, I can't divide that out anymore between the two ways that these guys go. Let's think. So this guy here, we're going to have to give to these yellow houses down here. And they're probably going to have to take the motorway in order to do it. I'd like to cut these guys through here to connect to those. That is still a, both this and that are square, so there's no urgency to have this not be just cars driving, so we'll just put it as opposed to say a highway over the top. All of this is going to be cars driving. Okay, that's a nice addition up here. Get that in there. Then what we can do is slot those guys that way and have these guys come in there. That's shouldn't have to slow down as much. Alright, cool. So there's a third house for that guy. We'll go there. That is a nice little easy one to address there. Okay. There are certainly things that could benefit from using that that motorway that I have, but I don't want to use them just yet. In fact, yeah, as I said, another 2 houses up here. I can get one more house in this section here. I might shift these guys to come through the mountain here and look after him. All these houses down here are really doing is just blocking another warehouse coming in, so how about it, fellas? Okay, so let's just pause for a second because this guy is starting to be a problem. So let's look at what we can do to improve his situation. Let's get rid of... Let's start making this move. So firstly what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of that. Sorry, yellow, you can keep your road. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to shift these 2 guys to look down. He's going to cut up through there. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can knock that off. Possibly don't even need that roundabout anymore. Bring those guys in that way. This guy is definitely the furthest away, so he'll be the least likely to come in, and so those lights should probably just stay facing that same one way for a bit. Okay. Then what we want to do is up this. Turn these 2 guys around and send them that way. So this guy now gets 5 looking after him. We then cut that. Turn these 2 guys around and send them up that way. Get rid of this. Turn him up. Turn him across. Send these guys up to look after that. We'll see how that goes. Okay, we do lose 2 guys here, but we can gain 2 guys there. And he can actually get in there anyway, so that's 1 extra. We'll just have to wait for this to disappear. We do have a motorway too, so let's also just do a quick address on this. Just put a little lip there, just to clean this up while we're working on it. We'll just surge 5 houses in, 5 houses worth of guys in to try and get rid of this backlog. Let's see, this is a bit of a mess there. Alright. This guy here we want to make a driveway, so let's, since everyone's all the way over this way, let's do this. Motorway? Now we can see that both of these guys are currently having issues. So, let's, these guys can't get around anymore. Well, we've got this guy that needs to be connected to something. So since he's, actually, no, we won't worry about connecting both. We'll just connect those 3 guys to that. It's too many guys are moving through this one section, basically. So what we could do is move this to, we'll move that to there, and then get rid of that and that. Just make it straight through. And hopefully what that should do is at least clean up half of this, because we're now going to have these 5 cars and no longer be in the way. We've got an extra motorway, so we can just leave that without that that second option for now. We do need to see some guys starting to come back though. Why have we got no one on their way? What's currently happening that means that no one's driving? Wait, why are we not moving, guys? Something's wrong there. cut something off, right? They're just all clearing to get out of that roundabout before it'll reset. So it's just this guy's got to disappear. There we go. Oh, that was a... Oh. Didn't like that. Okay, sorry. I've also got to get this guy up here. So... these two guys here, we can just go at least a clean route. They can... rather a ground route. They can at least get all the way around, help out there. These two guys can also go join that route. Now, whether or not this is too far for how far along that already is, let's just quickly give them a helping hand. I mean, the amount of houses already going up there meant that these guys weren't even stressing about moving along. It's probably a good sign that it's not too bad. Okay, so we can probably just say get rid of that now. We can reclaim it. A lot of pink houses just scattered about everywhere. Yeah, we'll keep going with the motorways. He's gone purple, so we're going to have to keep an eye on him. I'm pretty confident that we can probably take care of pretty easily. Okay, so he's gone circular as well. He's only got 3 houses looking after him. This guy has a ton. We are still running these guys through an intersection, but I still think it's okay because they're both still squares. So watch that space. These guys we can cut through here to help out. We'll go around that way. And there's only 4 looking after him, and he's got a bit more of a drive than this guy. I do think that we should put a second house on this. But they are kind of blocked in. I mean, I can see that the guys aren't leaving these houses anyway at the moment, so let's just take him as a secondary option. Okay, so let's look at these guys over here. There are 3 guys that are currently looking after this, and what we can do is connect those and make it 4, and then we can use these 4 guys at the top here to come down and help there. Okay, so this guy, his complaint would just be distance traveling, really. Alright, so he's gone circular. So 3 may not be enough for him very soon. That guy in there. See how much they're already surging to help out there. So that should hopefully clean itself up as they move along. I wouldn't mind putting a set of traffic lights in there. So he's just gone circular. We have 3 motorways at the moment, so let's use these. Let's take that traffic light and put it there. Let's disconnect this guy. Disconnect all of that. We'll come back down to here. I realize that loses his closest house. But, I mean, obviously the network is more here. We might wait and see if we get a few more yellow houses here, because then they're close enough that they could be a connection. Okay. But still, it's this guy that's the concern up here. We've got these 2 houses here now as well. But that guy there that actually could just connect straight onto him too. He's still not looking too great. He would be good to address him some way. Let's keep thinking about that. But this guy, if we go connect, a weird little sort of join up they've got there, but we can at least sort of middle them. We'll put that there. We'll see how they go. We're looking after that guy. There's all of that. Yeah, these guys are still running into each other. Okay. Okay. So we've got another red house there and one there. Can we get any red guys to here? Got a few connecting around. What we could do, is it going to let me turn that guy around, or is it not going to be happy with that? Might not be happy with it. Okay. What we could do is we could get rid of this. I mean, that would only give us one red house anyway. Let's remove that for a moment. We've still got these two guys looking after that on the top side. What we might do is turn these two guys around and run them into that same spot. And we'll get this guy head that way. So he's on the assisting list. Let's keep an eye on this while we wait for it to go away. Cool. Alright, we can get him out of the way. We can turn him around and swing this guy in too. So we've got an ugly little setup of neighborhood there. And all of those guys can go help out. And as long as those two are squares, as usual, because they're only squares, this hopefully should be okay. This guy needs some help. We still have one tunnel, so what we can do is we will get these four guys to run in, and we'll put a set of lights there. This guy has corrected a little bit. And hopefully this guy's going to recover from how he was just looking. Connect that guy there to help him out. This guy here is still not happy. Now there's definitely problems with my my setup. So what we can do is those two guys on here too. But this guy here is also not happy. I need to really be able to see what's going on down here. He could sneak through as well. Be even closer. But whether that's going to cause them just to slow down a little bit more. But basically red's just having a moment of surge. We just need, I mean, we can see there's a lot of red cars coming in at least. Now we don't have many red cars coming in, and that is still pushing up. Alright, do we have an extra motorway? We do. Do we have any available red houses that we can just sort of send? Got that one guy there, and we've got this one guy here. Not too much, and then just these two guys here. We can't sort of separate in any way from that road. This guy down here is also struggling, so maybe let's get him down there. He's going to create another intersection problem. Okay. What we will do, we can get that guy connected too. Let's get rid of that for now, and we will give these guys an intersection as well. And we'll just send it closer to red than and it just on the green side of that. All right, this guy here is also in need of some help. There's nothing that we can really send on that side, but I would need a motorway to do that. Okay, come on guys, get up there, get up there. Oh, that slowdown into that corner is very, very killer. Okay, at least a few of them are getting in there, so that's just going to survive, live another minute. Okay, so we've got this group of guys here, but we don't really have any way to hook them in at the moment. Thank you. Cool, we can see that that's gone away from being red, so that was a nice sudden surge of those guys. So let's chuck Highway 6 in just there. Now this one hopefully is just going to be a temporary fix. It's just basically a lot of the map is surging at the moment. How many red cars are just moving through this at the moment? Let's put a set of lights there to clean that up. You can see the surge of these guys coming in is sort of... This guy's conflicted about whether he's better off or not. This yellow guy here, he could do with a little extra help. That guy's not currently in use, so let's get him to come over this way. This guy here. Okay, so what we can... how's he doing? He needs some extra hands too, so let's... Yellow is our current surger, I would say. Let's get these two guys just down in a spot that they can go help out. And he is okay. So what we'll do is we'll nab that back. And I'd say what we want to do is just... Once that comes back, we'll put it there. This guy here too. Alright. These guys aren't even really on the move. They're actually quite happy with how this is going for him. We just need more guys over here at the moment. So let's turn that guy around because there's at least someone at home so we can get another car on the way. That motorway has arrived, so let's... There's just so many guys moving into the car park here. It's not even necessarily that he's failing, it's just that there's more cars than there are available space. Same with this guy. A lot of guys moving in there. So hopefully if he stops being so sad, we might be okay. How's Red doing? He's okay. We'll take Tunnel. Now we know Pink was the other one that we've just got an eye on here. Both pinks, so he's a bit of a struggle. Well, we've got these... I mean, those pink guys, they can help out here, but they're not really going to help out too much. We can get that guy in there and that guy in there to help this guy. So, this guy up here is probably our main concern. We can get those three guys connected here. And we'll just keep an eye on who needs it more, this guy or that guy. I think this guy, but again, he's got the people there. He just doesn't have the room in the car park to smoothly move in and out. Alright, and we are edging towards that 4,000 mark that I was after. Okay, we've got another yellow guy here. This guy is okay, so let's cut those three off that. Let's put him there. And let's just put them back here a little bit. We don't want them in the face of everyone going into that. We just want them sort of being able to slide in the side to assist and hopefully get there a little bit faster than what we've got. Okay, while we're not using that, let's get another house connected in there. Got two guys right here too. So I can't turn him around to connect to that. Got this guy's sad again as well. There's so many cars waiting to get into this one. Alright, Red is also currently complaining. This guy, I don't know if there's too much more we can do for him. See, there's anyone parking here? We got that guy claiming one. That is slowing down a tiny little bit. This guy in his two houses is a little bit unhappy, so we'll give him a third house. Spoil him. You have a lot of guys in here. Okay, let's... do that. And then that should mean that we can also turn this guy around. Get that guy really covered for now. When all of those are Apparently a bit unhappy. But there we go, we're well into the 4,000s now. This guy here is... Oh, that red at the top that finally got us. 4,200, so we got there. Let's have a look at how that puts us on the charts. 2%, we'll take that. And ranking-wise, 3,400. So nice to revisit those old ones. And a nice score to go with it. Any questions or comments, feel free to chuck them below. But till next time, catch you later. See ya.